Thanks so much for being with us here on Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Joy Limnacker, and just want to let you know about some of the top stories that we're following. We continue to follow the latest on that missing submersible. Experts say we're now in the window of oxygen running out for those 5 people lost at sea on that submersible. And just a short time ago, we've also learned that 2 deep water drone subs have reached the Titanic site to help with the search. The U.S. Coast Guard tweeting that 2 deep water drones are scouring the seafloor right now for the Titan. These subs can send images back to the surface, and they're capable of cutting and removing debris as well. The Coast Guard also just announced this is very much still a search and rescue mission. There have been multiple reports of noises. Officials say it's not clear whether those noises are coming from the submersible, just from nature, or even the wreckage of the Titanic itself, perhaps. But red flags about safety started emerging years before the disappearance. In 2018, industry experts also sent Oceangate a letter bringing up safety concerns about the vessel. So something that we've continued to follow. But we also know that one of the passengers on board has a direct tie to Metro Atlanta. Paul Henri Narjolet, nicknamed Titanic's greatest explorer, works as director of underwater research for EM Group and RMS Titanic Incorporated, which is headquartered in Peachtree Corners. But certainly a very tense situation. Our prayers with the people, our thoughts and prayers for the people that are on that submersible, and hopefully they can be found safely. But something that we're going to keep watching. Also want to let you know about this situation in Lithonia overnight. An investigation underway in Farrington Ridge Circle because of reports of several apartments and cars actually being shot up there. Atlanta News First Rachel Aragon has more on this story.
Good morning. Yeah, residents we spoke to earlier today at the DeKalb County Complex tells they were clearly frustrated to learn that they woke up to see not just their car shut up, but also their apartment units. Take a look at this video right here of the scene from earlier this morning. You can see people checking on their cars and their apartment units. You also can see those windows, shattered glass on their cars. Again, this happening earlier this morning, where residents waking up saying they heard dozens of gunshots firing off. Well, many we spoke to say they were very frustrated, and some even saying they just moved to this complex not too long ago, and now they're thinking of moving out. Another man we spoke to say initially he thought the sound was fireworks, but turned out to be gunshots. Another person we talked to who was impacted by this reported shooting says he just wants the police to get to the bottom of this.
We heard all the shots, so we came out and started checking our cars, and they got stuck with a few cars up there. Then when we walked down here, they noticed mines had been hit.
And Atlanta News First was at the scene earlier this morning. At that time, we did not see any medical personnel at the apartment complex. Right now, though, we are still checking in with DeKalb police to see if any injuries were reported during that shooting. Reporting in Tucker this morning, Rachel Aragon, Atlanta News First.
Thanks so much to Rachel for that report. Okay, we want to turn to another story that we've been following as well. This is in Villa Rica. Okay, so the NAACP in Carroll County waiting to see if their demands for a meeting with the Villa Rica Police Department are going to be met. The thing is that NAACP is upset over some images of the police department using an image of a black man as a shooting target. You can see this. The department posted some of the images on Facebook. Atlanta News First took the concerns to the Villa Rica Police Chief, Michael Mansour, and he says that his department uses a variety of targets, which are reportedly approved by the Georgia Peace Officer Standard Training Council. He says the photos were taken out of context, but agrees there's certainly room for improvement, but certainly causing a lot of controversy and something that we are keeping our eyes on as well. Okay, want to turn to the latest on the YSL Gang Trial. Court for the ongoing trial was supposed to continue today, but we've learned there will be no court proceedings until July 10th at 10 a.m. actually. So why were the proceedings paused? Well, we're working to find that out for you and bring you the latest when we learn some answers on that. But at the center of the trial, of course, is Atlanta rapper Young Thug, and the countdown is on until we find out what his cryptic QR code means. And he posted the code on his social media accounts. When you scan it, it takes you to a website called businessisbusiness.biz, and it shows a countdown clock that's been ticking down for days. we're less than a day away from answers on that. But again, the trial has been paused until July 10th, and it's something that we're going to keep following on Atlanta News First, Atlanta News First Plus. But also weather-wise, it's been dreary, it's been rainy, looks like a lot of activity on the radar. Meteorologist Rodney Harris here with a look at what this means. What does this mean, Rodney?
Well, our first alert, Joy, continues today as it has for much of the week, but I can promise you we will see improving conditions as we go into the weekend. So, Joy, I want to start, excuse me, with first alert radar. You can see that scattered rain is still out there. The heaviest concentration of the rain is up in the North Georgia mountains, and that's where it will stay for most of the morning. Even though our coverage of rain has gone down a bit in Metro Atlanta, we do still have those scattered showers out there. So if you do have any plans this morning in Metro, very drizzly out there, just sort of a yucky morning, and those scattered showers will continue. So just a heads up if you have any plans in the Metro. Here's a look at our flood watch, which is technically still in effect until Friday evening. So you may be asking, why are we still under a flood watch with the rain diminishing? That's because we've had so much rain this week. I looked at some of the estimates from First Alert Radar, and I saw like 6 inches of rain in Troup County since over the past 5 days. So because there's been so much rain, it will not take much additional rain to get these quick isolated flash flood warnings, similar to what we saw yesterday. So at this point, we do not have any active flood warnings in effect, but if there is any additional rain, especially if there's like any heavier rain, any pockets of heavier rain that we see, it just won't take much to get a flood warning. So that's why that flood watch is still in effect from Atlanta eastward. Again, that is until Friday evening, but despite that flood watch, the overall coverage of the rain will start to diminish. So Ella and Courtney have talked about this all week, but the culprit for this rain is what we call an upper level low. So it's an area of low pressure, but it's in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and that has been west of us over the past several days. Now it's basically just north of us, like right over us, but that will start to move north and east over the weekend, and as that low moves away from us, dry air will filter in behind it, and that will lead to a much better forecast going into the weekend. So here's the breakdown for today. You can see we have that scattered rain out there now, so it's a first alert. We're going to continue to see some scattered rain throughout the afternoon, but the coverage is going to go down to like 30%. So as you're driving home from work, unlike the past several days, it's not going to be a washout, but a shower or two will be possible. And then the same story for Friday. We're going to see a few scattered showers on Friday. Lower coverage. The rain will be there, but the coverage on Friday would be at about 30%. So even though we still have rain in the forecast, we're looking at lower coverages. So we will start to sort of gradually drop the first alert over the next couple of days. Really, today is the last day of our first alert. No first alert on Friday, and no rain at all on Saturday and Sunday. In fact, Saturday and Sunday will be mostly sunny with highs in the upper 80s to near 90s. So it'll actually feel like summer this weekend, so you can get out and enjoy your summer on Saturday and Sunday. I do want to take you to the tropics because we are now tracking 2 separate systems in the tropics. The first is Tropical Storm Brett, which you already know about. Brett is knocking on the door of the Caribbean, moving west at about 15 miles per hour. It's pretty close to a hurricane. Winds are at 70 miles per hour. You need a 74 mile per hour wind to get a hurricane. We're not forecasting that to happen. We think Brett will remain a tropical storm. It's going to move into the Caribbean and dissipate over the weekend, so it will be no threat to the U.S. What happened this morning was the development of Tropical Depression 4, which formed as of 5 o'clock this morning out in the open Atlantic. As you can see, this Tropical Depression 4 is just east of Brett, so it's right behind Brett. 4 is expected to eventually become Tropical Storm Cindy and will venture out into the western Atlantic next week. That is also not expected to become an issue for the U.S. So we do have 2 separate tropical systems that we are watching out there, but neither of them are really going to be an impact to us here in North Georgia or the U.S., but we are in hurricane season, so that's something that we're watching for you. As far as your forecast today, again, showers will remain out there. We are still under a first alert, so have that umbrella handy, but conditions will definitely be better today than they were over the past several days with lower coverage, especially as we go into the afternoon. So I'm going to leave you with first alert radar. Don't forget to join us for Atlanta News First at noon for the updated forecast going into the weekend. Again, I can promise you that if you want to get out this weekend, you'll be in good shape as the coverage of rain will completely go away by Saturday. But got to get past today and even some showers tomorrow, and we'll certainly keep you up to date on those rain chances right here through our social channels and also on Atlanta News First and Peachtree TV. So we hope you have an amazing Thursday, and until next time, we'll see you soon.